Hello, everybody. It's Sandra Pelly, the Sandini, the keeper of the inner dragon flame, as well as the galactic shaman. I am very excited today to bring you Viviana, the dragon mystic. And she serves or helps spiritually sensitive souls build a grounded relationship with their dragon guides and strengthen their intuitive self-trust so they can embody empowered, sovereign living with clarity, confidence, and steady support. First of all, Viviana, hello, and can you tell us a little bit about what I just said about who you help?
Hi, it's so good to be here and to spend time with you, Sandra. And about what who I help. It's been a really long journey for me to clarify exactly what I do, like to find the words that resonated with me about what I do so that the spiritually sensitive souls part that is about people who are connected to their intuition, connected to their higher selves, their whole consciousness, and who recognize that there's more to the world than the physical part of it. And what I do to help spiritually sensitive souls is to help them connect with their dragon spirit guides because when I connected with mine, it was a completely life changing experience. And I had been on my spiritual path for 13 years before that. I consider connecting with dragons my fourth intuitive awakening. And so I want to share the magic, the empowerment, the spiritual evolution side of connecting with dragon spirit guides. And what happens when you do is that it helps you live a more empowered and sovereign life with more intuitive clarity, with more confidence in pretty much everything that you do. And that steady support aspect of it is about having your dragons as support, but also having that intuitive clarity, that internal support rather than external support from our guides. So there's a whole bunch of parts to that one sentence about who I help.
There truly is. And you brought up a really key point, probably without even really realizing that you were saying this. And I wanted to bring attention to this because I think it's really, really important to let other people know because I know I've gone through some major stuff because of a real big shift and change in who I help as well as yourself. And not just the who I help, but that shifting from this is how I'm helping to really, how does this want to come through? It's almost like a shifting in gears, although you're not shifting in gears. You're becoming more clear, and I love that you've got that literally in your who you help and about the clarity because I've been around you for the last I think 5 maybe 6 years, and I've seen that you go from already on my spiritual journey to holy crap, what's happening kind of thing, and now settling into the energy of that and really becoming like who you are now. You are like, there's no words to describe who I see you as now when I think of who you were when I first met you. Like, there's such a different person now. And when I say that, recognize that it's the power of who you truly always have been coming through and shining out. And I really wanted to emphasize that we're going to continue to have journeys. Totally. So I just wanted to
Yeah,
share that.
thank you. I lovingly and gratefully receive that from you because like you said, you and I have known each other for well over 6 years now, and we've been on this spiritual journey together, and it doesn't end. Like, who we're going to be next year isn't the same person that we are right now. And I love that we get to do that together.
So do I. I have some really fun questions that I'd like to share with you. And they are literally around something that I do in my own business or around my own, like the little you inner dragon. And it's the emotional, physical, spiritual, and self-identity. So we're going to start with the emotional question.
I love that these are little wheels, and there was no way to prepare for this.
Nope, not at all. Ah, what does emotional safety mean to you?
means being calm in my it not just in my emotions, but in my nervous system, especially, right? So emotional safety to me is that I am calm within myself, that I have set energetic boundaries, and that I respect those and have consequences for those boundaries not being adhered to from other people. I think of myself as being emotionally sovereign, and so that means that other people, I don't blame other people for how I feel. I'm responsible for my own emotions. And so that emotional safety is about calm, especially for me, but also that I have emotional accountability and responsibility. And those are really important parts of emotional safety for me. Does that
Mm.
answer your question?
It does, and I want to point out a nugget for those listeners. You said something along the lines of, I respect my own boundaries.
Because what's the point of setting boundaries if you let people encroach on them? Right? There isn't really a point. So there's an accountability part to once you set boundaries, emotional, physical, whatever they are, spiritual, that you need to respect them. Otherwise, what's the point of setting them? And how is anybody else going to respect them if you don't respect them yourself?
I really want to move on to the next question, but I want to say something on top of this. I used to really dislike the word boundaries. I thought it was absolutely ridiculous to have boundaries because I was going to live in this expansive world and be limitless, et cetera, et cetera. And I actually did a boundaries course with a beautiful soul who taught me so much. I've come to realize that you are so accurate in that. Like, I create boundaries for myself. And when I do that, my world actually becomes such a happier place, especially when I'm paying attention to my boundaries and what I will or will not do. And when I say what I will or will not do, it's also what I will allow to cross those boundaries and what I won't allow to cross those boundaries.
Exactly. Exactly. And having those boundaries, that's what makes us feel safe.
Yeah. Yeah. Ready for the next one?
Yeah, you're right. This is fun.
The
I'm a
physical question.
I'm a preparer. I like to have, I like to have prep done for interviews and,
Everything.
and conversation.
When your energy dips, what revives you?
I have a technique that is called energy relaxation meditation. And it's about grounding my energy into the earth, to the heart of Gaia's consciousness, and revitalizing myself, my energetic stores with Gaia's grounding, calming, loving, supportive energy. So in the middle of the day, if I am feeling low, I will lay down. I'll stop what I'm doing and I will lay down and I will do that energy relaxation meditation. And if I fall asleep, that's okay. It's part of the process. And if that's what my body needs, then I respect that. And yeah, so energy relaxation meditation followed by sleep if that is what comes. And that's the answer to that question.
There's another nugget there for everybody. You literally pay attention. You're paying attention to your needs. And I think again, here's another boundary. I can go over that boundary and totally blow that boundary of awareness out of the water, meaning I'm not going to listen to that. And you pay the consequence on the other side. So I love hearing what you're saying and giving people the gift of it's okay to fall asleep.
Yeah, I know that there's a lot of people who are like, meditation is a practice and you're supposed to stay awake for it. And I'm like, not if you don't have the capacity. Like, why force it? And also, if you fall asleep and you berate yourself, what's the point of the meditation in the first place if you're gonna feel guilt about what your body needs in the moment? Yeah, I'm all about self-care. Self-care is not an option. It is a priority for me as someone with fibromyalgia. Chronic fatigue is a thing for me. And so I have to be aware of my energy levels at all times. And it's one of the biggest practices that I tell all the empaths that I work with. The newbie empaths are like, I don't know how to deal with this because I was there. I know what this is like. And self care is the most important part of functioning and flourishing as an empath.
Yeah. And just before we go to the next question, I want to also mention that if you are falling asleep or when you are falling asleep, that is also a really great opportunity for your mind to let go of what and how something comes in if you're being activated, and it can come in the way it is most powerful for you. Yeah.
Love that.
Re- Ready for the next question?
Yeah.
So this is the spiritual question. Have you ever experienced a sign that shifted your path?
Dragons? Yes. Short answer, absolutely. The little bit more explanation to that was the connecting with dragons, and how I connected with dragons was 3 weeks of signs, symbols, and synchronicities that were all related to dragons until it finally occurred to me to ask myself, I wonder if there's a dragon spirit guide who's trying to connect with me. And that completely changed the course of my entire life. So, yes.
Yeah. Did you hear what she said? There was tons of signs and symbols, and so she asked a question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm still flabbergasted that it took me 3 weeks to come up with that question to myself. But at the time, I didn't know dragons were real. I thought dragons were fiction. I thought they were myth. I didn't understand that they are actual spiritual beings who have been in our field forever, which is why they show up in every single culture on the planet because they are real. Yeah.
Boom. Love that. Now for the self-identity question. What legacy matters to you?
Sharing dragon wisdom with humanity to help us with to help support our spiritual evolution on an individual and a human collective level. That one was easy.
And there's not a whole lot I can ask or add to that because I think it is pretty straightforward. And I really admire you, and I know the energy and the um, I want to say wherewithal. I'm not sure if that's a word
Yeah,
that it takes because of my own experience with what I'm doing as well. And it's to stand up and say or recognize that you have something to offer the world that's being channeled through yourself. It's our I want to say duty, although duty may not be the right word. Use
purpose
whatever other word. Feel free, please.
and mission.
Yeah.
And it wasn't always my purpose and it wasn't always my mission, but since it's been given to me, everything that I've been doing on a professional and spiritual level is about that legacy.
I love that. So we're here today because of the spring equinox, the growth in motion. It's the gift giveaway. What does growth in motion mean for you?
Everything about growth is always also accompanied with motion. I am a very firm believer in being a lifelong learner. And learning for me is the biggest thing that contributes to growth, whether, spiritual growth, personal development, all of those aspects. And it's always moving, right? And it's always also really intimately connected with discernment, which I feel like is a skill that is even more important than it has ever been before. And so, what I kind of think of discernment is it actually has two parts of it. It's integrating what resonates and letting go of what doesn't resonate with respect. And so, growth for me is about practicing discernment and learning as much as I can and just allowing that to integrate into myself and seeing where it goes.
Love that. Yeah. During the gift giveaway, you have two gifts. One is the 5 steps to connect and commune with your own dragon spirit guide. And in the VIP offering, you have the Dragon Wisdom Oracle readings, an intimate gathering of guidance and clarity. As we wind up, know that these gifts are available March 17th through the 25th with the beautiful little summit at the other end of that, where we're gathering again to speak with and to each other. Is there any last words that you'd like to tell people about yourself or anything else?
I always love to end with gratitude. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me into your gift giveaway and into the possibility of connection with all of the beautiful souls who are going to take advantage of your gift giveaway. I'm so happy to be a part of it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Viviana. Take care, everybody. We'll see you at the gift giveaway.